Well, good morning, everyone. Finally got a nice cool morning here in Zion. That feels really good. And so I'm out exploring this morning. I have a couple small detail pictures that I found the other day and I'm hoping to work on this morning. And then, of course, seeing whatever else I can find as I pick my way through the rocks here in these washes on the east side of Zion. It's really beautiful here. Nice and calm this morning. Just still and beautiful. Let's see if I can get down these rocks without falling. All right. So anyway, what a nice day. Such a beautiful place. It's exciting to be here. And I also think that it's a little more of a blue sky day than it was yesterday, and I had a picture kind of spoiled yesterday because I didn't get the reflected light I needed. So I think that's going to happen today. At least I hope so. Of course, this time yesterday I thought it was going to happen too. So you never know. I'm going to keep going here and see if I can find my little detail pictures and keep wandering and just ready to explore all the wonders that Zion has to offer. Well, after wandering the washes for a little bit this morning, I finally came across a couple nice subjects with these little multicolored maple trees, and just working on some little details of rocks paired with the colorful leaves and some like stumps and roots kind of buried in amongst the colorful leaves. So it's just a perfectly calm, still morning this morning. Really, really nice. And just the perfect kind of conditions for the view camera and beautiful light and nice subjects. So I was happy to find those two this morning. It turns out this piece of Velvia is a bit overexposed in the highlights. It's also picking up a lot of blue from the sky, and I don't like how that looks. So I've tried removing the blue cast, and it works okay, but overall I'm just not that happy with this image, and I don't plan to take it any further. I like how these branches or roots are nestled and hidden among the multicolored fall leaves, and I also like that they're picking up the blue color, which I think looks nice in contrast to the warmer colored leaves. I'll crop in a little on the left and bottom to clear up some distractions, and overall I really like this detail image. So now I'm going to just keep on going, walking down this wash and seeing what else I can find. It's such a beautiful day, just clear skies, which I hope is going to help me get a picture that I couldn't get yesterday because it kind of got hazy and kind of muted that strong reflected light that I needed for this one particular picture. So I have my fingers crossed for that one later today. But anyway, I'll get packed up and wander down this beautiful wash and see what else I can find. Well, I certainly didn't have to wander very far and came across another beautiful subject. This time a pine tree and some roots that are exposed and pine cones and beautiful fall color beyond and a nice cliff. And it's all catching amazing reflected light from these sunlit cliffs behind me. So I really like this curved, I'm not sure where it is, this curved branch that goes up toward one, defining one of the edges, and just such a classic scene here in Zion on the benches around these washes. So I keep finding more things to photograph and I don't get very far, but that's always very nice. So now I am going to pack up and head on down the wash and see what else I can discover this morning. Again, lots of blue light here on the fallen branches, which I think looks neat, and I really like the curving branch defining the left edge. And of course, I like the warm, cool contrast of this scene overall. I should say that I did use a little bit of lens fall here, which allows me to look down without pointing the camera down, and that allows me to keep the tree trunks more vertical than they would be if I had to tilt the camera down, which would make them sort of converge into the center. So this is a nice aspect of the view camera where you can correct for perspective and keep things looking natural in the frame. Well, I've finally been able to re-photograph this scene behind me. I photographed it last year, but I had a little technical problem. It was a little out of focus at the bottom and I was just never happy with it. So all year long I've been waiting to get back here and to have good conditions and to have this beautiful reflected light glow on this arch and this little silvery snag tree that I just think is so beautiful. So I've been thwarted for a couple of days with weather and I missed the timing one day, but finally everything's come together. It's a perfect blue sky, reflected light day, and dead calm wind when I needed it to be, and so I've just captured this thing again, and I do believe it's all in focus this time. So, of course, as always, eager to see the film, but I'm excited to have been able to re-photograph this thing. You can't always do that. You can have a lot of heartbreaks there where things just change a little too much. In fact, in this particular case, there's a bright yellow bush that in the space of this past year has grown up enough that I couldn't have my exact framing like I did last year. So I had to work around that a little bit, but I think it worked out okay. I'm super happy to have this done now and check another one of the things off the list that I had planned for this year's trip. So now it's time to pack up and go explore some other areas that I wanted to with that great sense of satisfaction and relief that I've successfully, hopefully, captured an image that I've been waiting to do for a whole year. Here is the Velvia from yesterday on the left and today's image on the right. You can see how blue a slide goes with no reflected light and how nice the one from today looks in perfect reflected light conditions. I love the silvery tree trunk, but I wish it had been exactly in the middle between these two pines. Moving to the left a bit in order to do that would have revealed more of this curving shape, which I had in last year's version, but there was the brightly colored bush down here on the left preventing that. I also have nicer fall color down here than last year, so I'm quite happy with this version, and the glow on that wall is just stunning. Well, I was just walking down this wash, just kind of scouting. I left the camera in the Jeep, just walking down this sort of a narrow wash part here and just looking to see what I could find. And wow, I came across a really neat subject. Kind of a little cleft in the rock with sort of a rock in between and other rocks on the side. And I don't know, it just had a really nice feeling. did a quick iPhone photo. It looked really good. So I hurried back to the Jeep and grabbed the gear, and then I noticed that the sun was kind of encroaching. It's kind of an overhang thing here where this subject is located, and I figured it would be in the shade all the time, but the actual wash right at the sort of the base of the picture is really getting a lot of sun, and it's kind of kicking up a nice fill light, nice reflected light, so that's really good. I had to hurry quick to get set up, and in the last few exposures, the camera was in the sun, so I had to put the dark cloth over the film holder or just over the bellows just to make sure it was dark. But I did photograph this with Provia and Velvia, and I did put a couple sheets of T-Max 100 through it as well, so we'll see how all that turns out. But the contrast range is really, really low. I mean, maybe just a stop and a half or two. So hopefully that Velvia will punch it up and make it look good. I think I'm calling this one Canyon Embrace, or maybe Sandstone Embrace. I just think these two similar types of rock on the sides and then the slightly different looking one in the middle was really interesting. I just love the glowing light in this scene, and the Velvia really enhances the colors. It's fun to just stumble across something and have the car and the gear close enough to be able to hurry back and get it and capture it before the sun gets on it. So that's about all my film for today. So may have to go load some more, and I have some canyons I want to explore when it gets a little later on in the day. A canyon that I walked last year in the late afternoon, and I want to explore that some more. Well, it's been a really good day. I exposed a lot of film on a bunch of different subjects, did a lot of exploration, crossed a number of things off my list, areas that I wanted to explore. And one other thing that really happened that was really neat today was I found, again, a little subject that I'd photographed, I think back in 2009. And it's this beautiful little shape in a rock. It's in one of the washes here, and back then in 2009, I found it and photographed it, and of course I had no idea, where it was. I knew it was one of the washes here in Zion. When I photographed it back then, I was with a smaller digital camera, and so now that I'm here with my large format, I'm thrilled to have found it. Now I know where it is, and I think that'll be one of my goals for tomorrow, is to go and re-photograph this beautiful little shape, and I'll leave the sort of surprise of that for the subsequent video of what that is. But definitely shot through all my film, and I'm looking forward to just a relaxing evening, reloading all my film, resting a bit, and then getting back at it tomorrow. So thanks so much everyone for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.